Hi, this is Johnny. Today's video I want to cover what to do and what not to do if you decide to get the Imperneck RG353. Okay. If you guys haven't know the history of this, is that I bought this less than a month and I download a lot of things like scrape a lot of images to it, and after less than a month this thing went bye-bye. It's a system probably get overheated and I think the system board is dead. Okay, I try to charge the battery won't charge and there's no connection. So this is the Imperneck 353P. Now you're gonna say, well, what do I think that causes to have problem? Well, I think it might be because minorly this thing, whenever I'm scrolling the game, it will pretty much crash, especially when I'm scrolling from the Nintendo. I'm going to use this to demonstrate the stuff you could do and stuff you don't want to do. Okay, now it is nice that you could scrape everything from, let me go out. I went and scraped my Nintendo. The only thing I have here was Nintendo. Oh no, this one is the virtual game. What you're gonna do is you could scrape everything. Like for example, if you press the select, let's press the start button. Okay, when this is the same program that they install in here, that they call it the stock framework, is actually it's the same program that they also use on RK1UP CounterCAD 2-player. Only the 2-player controller that will work with the hack that the team encoder created. And they also install Batocera Linux operating system. So this one boot up to Linux Batocera. Now they modify it so you didn't know what emulator front end they are using, but they are using pretty much this one, the Batocera operating system, because every button you push, everything you see on the screen is exactly the same as this image that is installed in my Raspberry Pi 4. You could do Raspberry Pi 4, you could do Raspberry Pi 3. Here's a question. Now you are saying, well, Johnny, you're telling me that I need to go buy Raspberry Pi to scrape? No, you don't have to. You could download the images and use the program called Linux, and I'll show you in the computer, where you could download it and then use the program to see the Linux operating system ext and transfer all the ROM, the artwork, the video, the snap, the wheel, the title, everything over, and then copy it into your SD card, so that way you won't burn your system. I believe why I burned my system is I went to scrape, okay, and I press let me see, is it A? Yeah. And what I did is I scraped from the same site as you could see here. It's called the screen scraper.fr. You have to go there to create an account first. Okay, once you create an account, then you go to username and put in your username and password. Okay, and this one in Raspberry Pi you don't have to. It automatic will scrape. You don't need to create an account. But with this machine you will have to. Okay, you will have to create an account on screenscraper.fr. You will have to go into that account and create an account with them, and I did a video on that. So you just have to go there, create an account, write down your username, write down your password, and then put it down here. All right, now if you don't have Raspberry Pi and you require you have to scrape from this machine, then if you do scrape from this machine, let's go ahead and do scrape now. Do not scrape all 56 items that is on the system, or whatever how many system. scrape one at a time, okay? That way it will go fast and it won't overheat your system. And that's the problem that I have, is I scrape everything and it took 1 to 2 days and it still failed. So I don't recommend, now why my system is hanging up. So I don't recommend you select all 56 of them. Select one console at a time and scrape 1 or 2 things at a time. Don't scrape the box art, the title, the wheel, and the video. Don't try to scrape all that and the rating, okay? That's going to take a long time and it will overheat your console. So I believe that's why my system is dead, because I've been scraping every day, not every day, every other day, to the one that is missing. And then the second thing I don't recommend you to do is, let's go to the computer and I'll show you. Okay, we're in the computer right now, and you might be wondering, Johnny, what are you transferring? Okay, so let me show you what I'm transferring. I'm transferring to this location, which is, I just put another SD card in. So I was going to show you two ways you could do this. One with Raspberry Pi and one without a Raspberry Pi. Right now I just put a micro SD card in here, and I think this is the one with well, let it boot up. Okay, yeah, this is the SD card I just put in is Batocera, but you only could see the boot file. You cannot see the Linux size. So we're gonna look at that later. Okay, so right now it's called the G drive. All right, so there's nothing there you want. All right, so I'm gonna click on this one to show you where that coming from. I mean, going to. Okay. All right. So this is a share folder, which is the SD card that I download from Arcade Punk. So right here, if you see, there is the torrents. You have to download the torrents and then use the qubit torrents to download this. Okay, and qubit torrents is a program that all the arcade one-up stuff that you click, when you save it, you only see this, and when you click on it, it's going to open up the qubit, and you also need qubit to do this, and I'll give you the link to qubit as well. Qubit is a program that download the link, and then this is the image, 128 gig image. So you're going to download that image and into the location. So you have to put a location in. Okay, so let's see. Okay, and then now the screen that you was looking at, that was this one was running. The 120 gig with Pi 4 was running. And I copied the SD card to here first. In case that one day my SD card will go bye-bye, I will able to create the SD card by just format the SD card to FAT32 and copy this into my SD card. If anytime your SD card go bye-bye. So you wanted to like, if it doesn't boot up correctly, it's a good idea to create a name for it, so you know where this image is coming from. Okay, like for example, create a physical name, because this is a physical name, the folder. So you could go to your SD card and create a new text file, and that way, if SD card go bad, because the SD card is so small, you cannot figure out what image is this. You could create this title, and when you look at it, you say, oh, this image came from so-and-so, okay? And then you could reburn the image. So that's my advice to you, if those of you who use Raspberry Pi, just create this. Or you could add more information, like where the link is by edit the file and put some more information in there. All right, so let's go back to this. So what I did is I copied the share and the root. You might say, well, how do you copy that share and root without, this is using a Raspberry Pi, by the way, okay? This is using Raspberry Pi. I'm going to go ahead and close that. Okay, so how do I get Raspberry Pi? Well, first you have to set up the network. All right. Once the network is set up, you will have an IP address. And what you type is, you will type a backslash. Yeah, this is backslash, and then the IP address 192.168.1 and 73. And I'm using a Wi-Fi. So once you type that in, you press enter, it's going to ask you to log in. Okay. The username is going to be root, and the password is Linux, lowercase, Linux. Right now I'm logged into it, so it's not going to give me the prompt for username. But username is going to be root, ROOT, and the password is going to be Linux, LINUX. Okay, to log in. Once you log in, you just copy those two files directly to your hard drive. Okay, and once you, that's what I'm doing right now. I'm copying the file to my hard drive. Now you really don't need the file called root, but I like to copy it in case something that I need in the future, I will have it. The share folder is the one that you actually want to copy. And in this, you got bio, and then you have ROM. You could use this on your RK1 because this is a Batocera images. You could use it on this. You could use it on the RG353 RG353P. Okay, and you could go and scrape everything on your Raspberry Pi, and then you could just copy over. Don't try to scrape everything. Like I was saying, scrape. If you're gonna scrape an artwork for something, just scrape one at a time, and do one artwork at a time. And then once everything is downloaded, then you could go back and say, okay, download the one is missing. Okay, that way it won't kill you. You won't overheat your system. And don't do it all at the same day. Do it, give your system a chance to cool down. Apparently, the RG353 apparently does not have a good cooling system. So that's why my system what it is today is dead. Because I download a lot of scrape stuff like that, and that's what killed it. Now for scraping the program, if you don't have a computer, I recommend using a computer to scrape. As long as you are, and plus, if you're going to play the 2-3 hour, don't play too long. It will kill your system. Will overheat, and apparently this system did overheat, but you cannot really feel it because it's just kind of warm. So the RG353P will overheat, and as you can see, my system is dead. So if you want to prevent this happening, you don't want to scrape directly from them, but if you have to, this is how you find it. You type in screen scraper and then press enter on a Google search, and then you will scroll down, and then you will look for the site called right here, www screen scraper. And when you go here, you will have to create an account. So I know I'm repeating this, but this is for people who have not set up account. You will have to register account. Now, if you already have account, you just go ahead and log in. So this will be my email address and my password. Once you log in, once you create an account, let's just say we click on register, then you scroll down to the bottom, and it's going to ask you for username and password. So you put your username, password, and then try a second time, and then your email. Then you copy your username, your password into your RG353 when you do scrape. And then you're going to put your site, you're going to put down screen scraper without the FR. Okay, just the screen scraper, no FR, just that. Okay, and then that will work. All right. Now for people who doesn't have a Raspberry Pi, stuff like that, this is a second way to do this. Once you burn your images, you could use Win32, or you could use this program Win32, or you could use this other one called the Edger. No, people just call it Edger. Okay, you could use either one of this program to burn your images. Okay, you just pick the drive that you want to burn into. Let's just say you pick G, which is my SD card, and then you browse for the images. Once you browse the images, you click write. And this is another program. What you do is you could drag and drop the image here and then select your drive. For example, I could drag and drop into the images and then I select my SD card. Then say select and then flash. So that's how you do with Edger. So once you burn the images, you put the SD card back in and then you open this program called Linux File System. And Linux File System will automatically see your partition images. Okay, once you see it, you want it to mount the SD card. So it's going to read and write. So it'll be J drive. So you mount it. Now I say go to J drive. So you go to your J drive. Let's use another one. Go to J drive. J. Let's go C and then go J. Make sure that my screen is changing. Okay, here's a share folder. Here's your bio, and here's the ROM. So you could create a folder called share, like I did here, share, and then you could just copy all your stuff over here. Now this is a different image. This is for Pi. This is for Pi 4. The one that I have here is for Pi 3. Then you just pretty much go into your images, see whatever image you have. Okay, this one don't have anything in May, so more likely. Okay, here's all the Neo Geo. Now this one is a little bit different than Raspberry Pi because they rename their file completely different, and they actually call it like a fansart.jpg. They added the extra word behind the ROM name. This is for the images, this is for the marquee, and then if you keep on scrolling, you will see some that is in a video format. So review by detail, and you could tell that the sort by name. So you have a fence, thumbnail, and let's go by type. See if we could find some video. The video would be the MP3, which is the video snap. Okay, apparently this one do not have any video snap. For some reason, it just have pictures. So if you want video snap, you will have to download the video snap. So that one was not a very good example. And this one, they did it very different. They put everything in a different folder. So because it's I guess it's because the program is so big, they put all the ROM, and then there's the old tower video. So and then there's the game list. And so they did this way. So it depends who make the images. You know, different people make the images differently. Like this one, because the file is so big, they decided to break it down to make it smaller. And I was going to try to find one to show you that there's video behind it. Okay, here's the image. See, as you can see, there's different kind of artwork. It's taking a while to load. This one is on my hard drive because I'm doing too much stuff going on, so it's loading very slow. But there's video for the Dreamcast. This is the one I'm copying from Raspberry Pi directly to here. And there's some video for it, and they actually name it dash video. So the ROM name plus extra name they added. So if you want to make this work on Raspberry Pi, you don't really have to change anything. Just copy the game list. As long as you have the game list.xml, it will work on Raspberry Pi as well. So right here, okay. So that XML is created by this program, and it will work on Raspberry Pi 4 on Raspberry. So it doesn't have to be on button Batocera. It doesn't have to Batocera. They do their stuff a little bit different. They don't separate everything into they put everything, all the images, they put it all together. Like this is a mixed art, and some of this is all called mixed art. So they download the mix art, mixed art, and some of them they call the fans art, the title, whatever. But this one is majority is a mixed art for Nintendo DX. So that they download, and then this one is all the video that they download. So they added the word video, and all this thing. So you could actually change it to where all the video is in its own video and other stuff is on. This one apparently did separate the video with video and box art with box art. A lot of Batocera older version, they don't do that. With Raspberry Pi 3, everything is in one folder. Okay, like this one what we are looking right now. Everything's in one folder, all different artwork, the wheel, the mix art, the marquee, the thumbnail, all in one folder. Even the video is inside here, and they call it dash video. So they only have one folder called image, and that's how they used to do it. And now they recently just realized that that is too much in one folder, and it's very hard to to keep track with everything. So they pull everything out. Now they put all the box art in box art and all the video in video. I prefer to pull everything out, and one thing good about Batocera is that you could actually change the path, and so that when you scrape it, it will put into its own folder. You could actually maintain that as well. And it's very flexible, Batocera. But one thing I'm not very familiar with is the chords. I am still trying to figure out where to download the chord, because in Arcade1Up there's no Nintendo DS, and I know Nintendo DS should play well in the Raspberry Pi hack because it played well in Raspberry Pi 3. So I don't know, and I still don't know how to install the chord because I don't see the chord anywhere, and I'm trying to figure out where exactly the chord is located at, so that I could actually install the chord. But I did talk to one person who work on this kind of stuff, but he mainly work on for PC station, and he's saying that the chord is actually just a save file. So I really don't know. See, I can't find the chords, and I don't know where the chord is located. Even I go to Raspberry Pi chord, I don't see the chord, so I don't know where did they actually store the chord. So if I do know, I could. If you guys do know, please let me know, because I'm trying to figure out where the doggone chord is. But Raspberry Pi is very straightforward. All the chord is in the same directory in a folder called chords. And if you're missing something, you can install it. But this one, apparently, Batocera, you don't have the option to install the chords. So I don't know what's going on. But anyway, this is my information to you. If you're going to buy the RG353P, which is Emberneck, try not to scrape too much, especially using Wi-Fi, because Wi-Fi, even with the phone, Wi-Fi eat up a lot of your battery life. And whenever it eat up your battery life, that's when it will drain the battery and overheat your system. So try to do everything either using your computer and then copy into your SD card. That will be the best way and the safe way. So I will try to give you the link to this program called the Linux file system for Windows. And then if you do not know where to get the qubit, I will also give you a link to qubittor. Qubittor, that's the name. Qubittorrents, and you could download it and then unzip it, and then you could use this program to see the unknown folder. Then you could copy the ROM out. Then once you copy the ROM out, you could put it on another SD card, and then you don't have to scrape it, because the image that come with the Raspberry Pi, they all have the artwork, the video, and everything you needed to play it. So that will help you give your RG353P a longer life, because my system just died and so I probably will buy another one, but I will buy it from Amazon.com, and I won't do too much of scraping. I'll probably just play the game and then shut it off, let it cool down, and then play again. So you don't want to play, you do, once the battery is dead, it's a good idea to charge it, give a few hours to cool down before you play it again. All right, and then buy it from somewhere that you could get your money back if after 1 month, like mine, less than 1 month, it died. You like Amazon.com, they sell it too. And if you need the images for the SD card, I have upload my 64 gig and plus my 16 gig into Google Drive, so you could download those. I think the 64 gig is on Telegram, so you have to join the Telegram in order to you will have to join my account in order for my Telegram, in order for you to access all this stuff that I upload to this area. Okay, all right, talk to you later. Thank you for watching. Hopefully this helped. Later.